The year 2025 marks the 50th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War, locally known as the Resistance War against America to save the nation. While Vietnam and its population of more than 99 million people have since risen from the proverbial ashes of many years of conflict, millions of Vietnamese are forever traumatized directly or indirectly by what is considered by several experts as a weapon of mass destruction: Agent Orange. In August 1961, prior to Vietnam's reunification, the United States, with the participation of South Vietnam, conducted aerial herbicide spraying to deprive enemy forces of forest cover, crops, and food supply. Over the next 10 years, the U.S. Army conducted 19,915 missions covering 3 million hectares where 26,000 villages were located. The U.S. Army sprayed 80 million tons of toxic chemical, 61% of which was Agent Orange that contained 366 kilograms of dioxin. Scientists have declared dioxin as the most harmful and toxic chemical discovered by man to date. Vietnamese authorities claim that as many as 4.8 million people have been exposed to dioxin, with 3 million experiencing detrimental health and disability effects. First-generation victims, those who were directly exposed to Agent Orange, developed dioxin-related chronic illnesses. But 4 generations after, many of their descendants are still born with severe and often multiple disabilities. Identifying victims of Agent Orange is logistically impossible, given the complexity and cost of the task and the sheer scale of the impact. Moreover, it is scientifically challenging to distinguish illnesses and disabilities linked to dioxin from those caused by other factors. Thus, the determination of Agent Orange victims would need to exclude other possible factors. This leaves policymakers with only 2 criteria they can use to certify if someone is an Agent Orange victim. First, proof of exposure, and second, evidence of diseases or disabilities typically associated with dioxin. The health and disability effects of Agent Orange are intertwined in many ways with victims' socioeconomic status. Up to 60% of Agent Orange families are classified as poor households by the government, and as many as 70% reside in rural communities. Despite recent improvements in healthcare in rural areas, clinics remain ill-equipped to manage health and disability conditions associated with exposure to Agent Orange. So, what is being done to help victims of this horrific episode in human history? The Vietnamese government spends around $430 million annually to assist around 800,000 people through 2 tracks: preferential treatment for people with meritorious services to the revolution, and general disability assistance. While the U.S. government has not acknowledged responsibility for the human suffering caused by Agent Orange in Vietnam, it has provided funds for dioxin remediation and health disability programs in heavily sprayed or contaminated areas. Until 2022, the U.S. appropriations language was ambiguous about the relationship between the funding and Agent Orange. However, the U.S. Consolidated Appropriations Act 2022 explicitly mentioned it as the potential cause of disabilities. Similar language was used in the U.S. Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2023, which allocated $30 million to assist persons with severe physical mobility, cognitive or developmental disabilities, provided that such funds shall be prioritized to assist persons whose disabilities may be related to the use of Agent Orange and exposure to dioxin, or are the result of unexploded ordnance accidents. At present, millions of victims of Agent Orange and their families still struggle with the horrors of war. To them, the issue is not just about their personal pains, but about their collective grievance that demands recognition and reparation. They are the faces of human suffering brought on by humanity's worst violent instincts. And they represent the human endurance in the face of adversities brought about by unfortunate events in our shared history as peoples of Asia. Their experiences serve as a poignant reminder of the need to constantly work for peace and understanding in a world easily falls prey to war and conflict.